Lisa has traveled the world, as you can see in all the pictures and all the envy. You can get some envy on with looking at the greats that she's been traveling with and performing with. And, you know, we get to have her all the time right here in Kansas City. And I don't want people to think that that is a small deal just because somebody's always local to somewhere. And so just because we have access to her, we can call her and have coffee with her and see her, doesn't mean that she is not absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm just grateful that all of you are here. And I hope that you meet a person next to you. And without further ado, I want to bring up the politically aware and active, about to be always in trouble. Lisa's in more trouble than I am. You're the only other woman that I know in more trouble than I am. But always in trouble, always stirring the pot, making people think a little bit harder about the decisions that they're making. She's always advocating for artists. She is a true creative, and so she's my sister and my friend. She's taught me a lot about cancer women too, because I have a cancer daughter. She's like, that's normal. I'm like, thank you, I needed that. So, ladies and gentlemen, rocking these amazing high heel shoes and sauntering into her 50s this year. Yes, sauntering. She'll be celebrating her 50th birthday. Without further ado, Lisa Henry.
Thank you. I'm good. Miss Natasha Ria El-Scari, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful introduction. And yeah, this is just fun. This is just so much fun. And it's funny when you say 50, and I'm looking at my 8th grade music teacher, there's like a disconnect. I remember 8th grade like it was yesterday, don't you?
Well, I remember your 8th grade.
I love it. So we're gonna do a few tunes, and like I said, this is songs and conversations and stories. So you all have gotten a chance to look at some of the pictures. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. What about all of me?
Okay. Okay. Cool. 1,
2, 3, 4. sure? He said, baby, 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 I want all of you. And I said, are you sure? He said, yes. And I said, okay, there's the gas bill. There's the light bill. You know the mortgage is due. And my car payment too. 'Cause you said you wanted all of me. He said he wanted all of me. I gave him all of me. He wanted all of me. Why not just take all of me? Baby, take all of me.
Yes.
Dominique Sanders on bass. I just missed it. I'm sorry. We know all of these songs, and so one will be in my head, and I'm looking at Dominique.
It's the curse of knowing too many.
Yeah, and see, I'm looking at him, and I'm saying, you know that one, and he's supposed to read my mind. Gosh, and you know, it gets me frustrated when he can't read my mind. Beginning to see the light. That's the
Oh, okay.
in F.
Okay.
Kind of funky.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what's nice about working with a bass player like Dominique? How old are you, Dominique?
28.
28?
Yeah.
I got bras older than Dominique. My God. 28. I remember 28. I was still dumb at 28. But not Dominique. Dominique is this young man. I'm so proud of him. He is a producer. He is gosh, he does everything. He writes, he does everything. Dominique is just, and he's incredibly just humble and just kind and beautiful. Dominique is all that. He's all that. And so, no, and I feel very fortunate that we still have him here in Kansas City.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes.
He's making a guest appearance today, right?
And I have to say, he actually was, because when I learned that we were going to do this, I called him up. I said, Dominique, are you in town? Where are you on the planet? And I think, weren't you in LA at the time?
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, I think I'll be back around that time. So yeah, so Dominique, we got to watch him. Pardon me?
That's what it's like calling
No, I'm not as bad as Dominique though. No, and I'm not as bad as Dominique though, because Dominique, he's all over the place. But yeah, I get it. That's my friend Jessica back. How's Jack?
He's fine.
Sidebar: Jack is her bulldog, and this is part of the story. So, and I love Jack, and Jack is frustrating her right now, and Jack has his own fan club. So we're gonna do a song for Jack. We really are. Do you ever see the light? Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
See, that's what's nice about working with a young bass player too, because I can just say, make it a funk groove, and he knows exactly what I want. I don't have to tell him, it's just not, and he's always been this way. And I'm always amazed and looking forward to what Dominique comes up with. I'm like, hey Dominique, just funk it out. He's like, okay, I got you. Yeah. Never get much from moonlit skies. I never wink back at fireflies. Now that the stars are in your eyes, I'm beginning to see the light. I never went in for an afterglow, a candlelight on that mistletoe. But now when you turn that lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shout boxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark that's a born on fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. Now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. Yeah.
Record it, okay? I won't remember it. Yeah, so yeah, that's Dominique, and I always tease Dominique because I love bass players. I always have, and the bass is the instrument that always catches my ear first in any band, and so I have a favorite bass player that Dominique knows. Don't laugh at me, Dominique. His name is Christian McBride. And I love Christian McBride. I've loved him forever. And Dominique has that Christian McBride sound. You even talk a little like Christian.
Yeah, people say that.
Yes, you do. You've got that timbre in your voice. So yeah, so you all have homework. If you don't know who Christian McBride is, go home and Google him. He's fabulous. And his wife Melissa is wonderful too. But I've loved him even before Melissa, but she knows. She knows. But yeah, so Dominique is doing some amazing things, and every time I hear him play, he's, what'd you say, 28?
Yeah.
28. When I was 28, I was, all of these young players coming up, I remember where I was at their age, and I think at 28, I might have been, I think I was back in Madagascar at 28. Yeah. So I think I might have a Madagascar picture back there or something. I don't know. But yeah, 28. It goes by fast. You better hang on to it. You wake up 50, I'm telling you. It happens. Any questions? Conversations about the pictures? Anything? I'm gonna keep singing and talking and all of that.
Well, tell us more about Madagascar since you mentioned it.
Well, since I mentioned it, okay. Let's see, a Madagascar story. And I didn't bring the picture, but I did a 3-week stint in Madagascar through the State Department. It was so much fun. And I got a chance to take my mentor, Everett Devan, with me. He had done so much for me, and so when the opportunity came up, I said, yeah,
he needs to go. I need to bring him along. So it was a duo situation, pretty much like this. And so we would perform for art centers and for the U.S. Embassy, just wherever they needed us. And so Madagascar is funny because, at least at that time, what happens is these very well-meaning aid groups come in and they do a certain project, and then the money runs out, and then maybe another group picks it up. So the roads were notorious for the roads. You would get, like a real smooth ride for about 2 miles, and then it's bumpy. And so we were going along the same road every single day to get to where we needed to go. And so the joke became, okay, that money ran out. Okay, I wonder who picked, okay, France must have picked it up here. Okay, then we go another 2 miles, it's really smooth and everything, and then bumpy. Okay, the grant ran out again. So you would see a lot of those things around Madagascar. The funniest thing, there were two funny things that well, there were a lot of funny things that happened. We were at a stop sign one day, and there are things that you see in other countries that are just normal every day. But to us, in our American sensibilities, we're like, wow, did you see that? So we're at a stop, and there's a man, he's got a half of a cow just on his head. I mean, just kind of like going to market with half of a cow on his head. And so we were watching that, and Madagascar was not a cold place. It was kind of hot. But I said, oh my gosh, he's got a cow on his head, and he's just walking like it's nothing. And if you've ever been to Africa or seen anything in Africa, women are often just walking with things on their head. They look very heavy, but again, very normal, very normal. But to our American sensibilities, to my American sensibilities, it was amazing. So yeah, we saw a lot of scenes like that. Half a pig just kind of popping on the head, and they're just kind of carrying it to market. Very interesting. We went to a Madagascar is French speaking, and so we went to a restaurant, and Everett ordered a cafe au lait, and he ordered it as if he was going to get some Starbucks sort of deal, and so the gentleman brought him black coffee and cream. And so Everett said, I'm sorry, excuse me, I ordered cafe au lait. And so the man pointed to the coffee, he said, cafe? And then he pointed to the cream, au lait. And we laugh about that all the time. When I see him, I'm like, Everett, you want a cup of coffee? Cafe au lait. So it just funny stories like that are all over Madagascar. One of the nice things about Madagascar is it forced me to look at, all of Africa forced me to look at everything differently, to not take certain things for granted, and to really live in the moment. I saw whole families that were so poor, but they would give you anything that they had, and they didn't have much of anything. So yeah, Madagascar is always in my heart. They have a wonderful place called El-Scari. If you ever go there, ask for Joseph the Stonecutter. And he is so funny because El-Scari is like removed from everything, but somehow Joseph the Stonecutter has learned all of the American marketing tricks. Come in, you buy 2 for 1, 2 for 1, 2 for 1. He kept saying 2 for 1. And I'm like, who's been talking to this man? But he's got the best semi-precious stones ever in El-Scari, Madagascar. That's where you're gonna find all your semi-precious stones. So yeah, Madagascar was nice. Oh, and I saw the lemurs, and I saw a 100-year-old turtle, and I saw all of that. See, it was so overwhelming to me because these are things I had seen on National Geographic, but to be in that space and to see these real things, it was like, wow. And then I pinched myself. Is this little black girl really here in Madagascar seeing all of this? Wow. So yeah, I'm very blessed for that experience. So yeah, that was thank you for asking me about Madagascar. It's fun. I want to go back. I gotta brush up on my French though, because it's atrocious. My French is atrocious. I know about enough to get me in trouble. So yeah, so life on the road. I remember the early days. I wasn't married, didn't have a child or anything, and it can get a bit lonely. It can, because even with all of the amazing experiences, it's like you want to call somebody and say, hey, you know, and you're like, oh, that's right, no one to call. So I would be in my hotel room or looking outside over the water or whatever was going on. And I was always daydreaming about love. I was in my 20s, so, you know, I'm daydreaming about love and everything. So this would probably be a good time to do a love song, huh? See how I segued that right in there? What about I Wish You Loved? Do you remember Key we did it in?
Okay.
I wish you
No, let me see.
You've got all this technology now that you can go to.
Was it? A little bit louder.
I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing, and then a kiss. But more than this, I wish you love. You sure?
That cool?
I don't know, is it?
Okay.
If the bass player is not cool, everything is uncool.
Yeah.
That's why I always make sure the bass player is cool. Always. Is that the key?
Yeah, that was an E flat, but okay. No, you wanted a C.
I wanted to see. You see, you got me an E flat. See, see how you do. You gotta watch these young whippersnappers.
Okay.
I wish you bluebirds. Da, 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 I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing, but then a kiss, and more than this, I wish you love. And in July, a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health, but more than wealth, I wish you love. This aching heart and I agree that you and I could never, never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm and a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. I wish you love. This aching heart and I agree that you and I could never, never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from life's storms and a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you, I wish you, I wish you, I wish you lots and lots of love. Reorchestrate as we should make. Mood Indigo in B flat.
Okay.
No. Take that bad note out of it. Oh no, you know what? Straight note chaser.
Okay. Okay. Right on.
Yeah. 2, 1, 2, 3. Shabba-ba-doo-bee, shadoo-ya-doo-ba-doo-ay, shadoo-ya-dee-ba, ba-doo-ya-dee-ba, ba-doo-ya-dee, shadoo-da-ba-ba-doo-ay, shadoo-da-ba-bee, ba-doo-ya-dee-bee, ba-doo-ya-dee-ba-dee-do-ba-doo-ay, shadoo-da-ba-ba-dee-do-ya-doo-ay. This market is straight, you had a time when you wait. You gotta be on, you gotta be strong, the time is here, so trust your life to your ear. Don't wait for no one, they'll have to grow one, because the moment is the place where it happens, and there's no one who can help get it straight. This monk had a way of being out of his day, ahead of his time, not in the same rhyme with other guys. He was uncommonly wise. He knew the answer, the time's a dancer. He knew you can't back up the moment and take it with you on the road. So now is the time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shum-dum-ba-doo-ya-dee-doo-lay. Um-ba-doo-dee-doo-doo-doo. Shum-ba-boo-ba-doo-ya-dee-doo-doo-doo-dee. Shum-da-doo-ba-doo-ya-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Do that again. I missed that one. See, now it's just showing off. So boom, ding dong, ba do da dee da do, so do da do man da do da ding. So boom, dee dong, ba do dee da do dong, da do ding da do ya do da dee da do da da ding. So boom, bing ding, so down bing, so down bing, da da dee dee da do. So boom, dee dong, boom, bing dee lo da do dee dong, bing dee lo da do ba ba da do. It's at a time when you wait. You gotta be on, you gotta be strong. The time is here, so trust your life to your ear. Don't wait for no one, they'll have to grow one. Because the moment is the place where it happens, and there's no one who can help get it straight. This monk had a way of being out of his day, ahead of his time, not in the same rhyme with other guys. He was uncommonly wise. He knew the answer, the time's a dancer. He knew you can't back up the moment and take it with you on the road. So now is the time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Dominique. He's wearing me out. That's a tune that I'll normally use to just kind of warm up my vocals and kind of get my ear right. And yeah, Dominique, you young cats, I'm hanging with y'all. I ain't done yet. I'll have him play a line and then I'll try to do the line with him and everything. With my almost 50-year-old self, but he's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, very good. So we do a little monk. There's a picture over there with myself and Thelonious Monk, T.S. Monk III, and T.S. is he's quite a character. I do a lot of work and have been working with the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz for over 25 years. For those who may not know, I entered a competition through the Monk Institute that I was so cynical about. Y'all want to hear the story?
Yeah. I only came for the story.
You only came for the story? The music is just kind of filler, right? Okay, so this wonderful gentleman here in the Kansas City area, his name is Jim Mayer, wonderful saxophone player. You all may have heard of him. He's from Canada. Wonderful man. Love him, love him. And when I was just starting out on the music scene here in Kansas City, Jim Mayer he was all over the place for performing. He's just a great guy. So Jim called me up and left a message on my answering machines. I tell you how old that was. So he's like the master of these cryptic messages. He's like, "Hey Lisa, there's this competition you might be interested in. Here's the number. Okay, see you later. Bye." and you know Jim Mayer. Okay, right. Okay. So if you know Jim, that's classic Jim. And so I remember I was laughing because I never believe in competitions. I think they're extremely subjective. I think that somebody's cousin who's related to somebody else is going to get it, and why in the world even bother with it? It's just so silly. But there was this little voice in my head that said, well, if you're all cynical about it anyway, you might as well try it. I mean, if it's a big joke, let's just play the whole joke out. So I did. So I sent a tape to the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz, and at that time, this was their first jazz vocals competition. Every year they focused on a different instrument, but it was the first time they were having jazz vocals, and there was an uproar. There was an uproar about this because, for those who may not know, vocalists aren't always welcomed in the instrumental realm, unless they're cool vocalists. But even cool vocalists.
Most of the people that don't really like making a lot of money.
Yeah. They're the ones who don't like vocalists?
Yeah,
right. Good answer. He's very politically astute as well. Yes, that is a great answer, Dominique. You will go far. Yes, so, and let me tell you what he's saying, so you don't feel like this is an inside joke. So, singers will typically have a lot of gigs. And if you can work with singers, particularly if you're a bass player, piano player, drummer, you will work all the time because there's always a singer who needs a bass player, a drummer, or a piano player. If you don't like singers and you play the bass, you're going to have a hard time because a lot of times the bands just have a singer or two.
I think people prefer to hear vocals are...
Yeah, it's kind of the catch-22. Yeah. It's like the audience really wants to hear vocals, yeah. But for the instrumentalists who have worked so hard on their craft, I understand where they're coming from too, because they don't often get their vantage point heard. The saxophone player, the bassist. So I was going somewhere with this story. Help me out. Competition. Thank you so much. See how I start veering on. Okay.
I'm still on the competition.
I'm feeling 50. I'm okay. There's 50. I was wondering where 50 was coming. So I sent in my tape, And I forgot about it. I totally forgot about it. So I get this letter several weeks later, and I was in a competition with, I think it was over 200 applicants. So I get, and these are applicants, let me just kind of set this up for you. They're from around the world, so it's not just like me competing with, you know, another young singer down the street. I'm competing with singers from, you know, from France, from New York City of all places, you know. And so I got a letter saying that I was picked as one of the 11 finalists. Yeah, we're right. And I'm like, no, this is funny. So I start laughing again because I'm like, okay, this is okay. Who's doing this? So I call the Monk Institute to make sure. And they said, well, yeah, of course. I said, are you serious? And so I find out that the buzz was because all of these other names were from places where you would expect so-and-so New York City, so-and-so from, you know, from Chicago, so-and-so from, you know, from France. So we got all these. Lisa Henry, Lansing, Kansas. And so I was like the mystery, like, Lansing, Kansas? What do they do in Lansing, Kansas? I was still living with Mama at the time. So I was like that because so everybody was interested in who's the chick from Lansing, Kansas. Is there jazz in Lansing, Kansas? You know? And it was so funny because people didn't realize the close proximity to Kansas City, which is very historical. So it really made sense. But, you know, if you're on the East Coast and you see Lansing, Kansas, you're like, well, who's she? So I get to the competition. Of course, my mom, my mom is like, Mr. Miller, do you remember my mom? She hasn't changed at all. My mom sees a letter, and she's just crazy with it. I'm like, okay, Mom. So she literally packed the whole house up. Everybody came to Washington, D.C. for the semifinals. And I said, Mom, now here's the thing. It's just the semi. I may not win I may not place again at all. So I'm okay with this letter because, again, I was laughing about it. I didn't believe in it. I never thought I'd place at all. I'm like, out of 200 people, but I'm okay with the letter. She's like, oh no, we're going to Washington D.C. and pack that stuff. Oh, you know, she went black mama on me real quick. I had nothing else to say. So we get to Washington D.C. and Mom is just because my mom is a gospel singer and she hasn't sang in years. And so it was at that moment, and Mr. Miller remembers all of this. So he's just sitting there nodding because he remembers my mama. But this was like such a moment of pride for her. I was still stunned that I was even on the list because I was so cynical about it. So we had the competition for the semifinals was at the Smithsonian that year. And so my mother was gonna have me looking regal and everything, and she went totally over the top. I look at the pictures now, I'm like, oh God, I'm so embarrassed. So for the semifinals, I love the fishtail look of the dress, right? And so Mom says, I saw something for you, it'll be perfect. It was a wedding dress, fishtail. I mean, over the top. Oh God! But you know, I'm young, and I'm like, okay, looks good for a stage, I suppose. So I get there, and this is where I look like I was from Lansing, Kansas. So everyone else is dressed in sequins and everything. I got the wedding dress on with the fishtail thing going, right? And so that was for the semifinals. But I actually did have like a black velour, nice poofy thing for the actual finals. So long story short, got to semifinals, made the cut for top 3. I'm laughing again. My mother, oh my God, because the people who were my judges and the people who are involved with the Monk Institute, you've got Quincy Jones, who there's a picture of Mom and Quincy. Oh gosh, that was just a moment for her. Oh. I'm like, Mom, they're going to send me on a plane back home. I don't get to stay with Quincy. I just don't. And I don't get to stay with any of these. She met Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams was, he did the artwork. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Okay.
Call for me.
So my mother got to meet Billy D as part of all this, because after the competition, there's like this big party. And so I'm watching my mother. Now, this is what's so funny. This started out as a personal joke for me. I'm watching my mother, and she looks just like a little girl. And she's like, oh my God, there's Billy D, there's Billy. I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm gonna take you over there, and blah, blah, blah. So Billy D, you know, he saw me, oh, hey, Lisa, how are you? So I'm all cool with it, because I wasn't supposed to be there no way, okay? I'm just like, okay, this is interesting. So my mom was just, and she's always been a Billy D fan, and so she was just, oh my God, and Billy D. And of course, so so I made the cut. And so the way that it happened that year, I won first runner-up, the winner, and we are still good friends. Her name is Sarah Lazarus, and she's from Suriname, France. I always pronounce that wrong, but she's wonderful vocalist. And so I came in second, but that year they also had a prize to tour Africa. And so I didn't even care if I placed. I wanted to go to Africa. I'm like, look, I mean, since it's a joke anyway, I mean, okay, it just got real. So give me Africa. Y'all can have the rest. I don't even care. So Betty Carter was one of my judges that year. Betty Carter was my judge, Cleo Lane, Abby Lincoln, Little Jimmy Scott, John Hendricks. Who else? Diane Reeves was my judge. Yes, I mean, these were, and so, you know, for me, for what started out as sort of a cynical joke, I'm looking at all of these amazing women, some who have gone on now, and I'm like, okay, this is real now. And these are the women who went into that room and decided this one here. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, I mean, I had to let it sink in for a while. So while Mama was living out her star-struck thing, I was just like, these are all of the women that I've ever listened to on record. These are women that I admire artistically and professionally. And okay, maybe this ain't a joke after all. And so I'm trying to get myself together. And Mom's like, oh, Billy D's over there again. I gotta go over there, Billy D. Oh God, Mama. You just don't want to see her in that situation. It's just not a good thing. So we came home. It was worse when we got home because Mom had pictures now. And so pictures and memories and then the stories. And so every phone conversation, oh my gosh, yes, and we met, and she started name dropping. I'm like, oh God, is this how it's gonna be? Is this how it's gonna be? So afterwards, went to Africa, had an amazing time. I think there's a laminated story that the Leavenworth Times did on me at the time, and Africa was just, I don't even have enough time to tell you how Africa changed me and made me, I think, into a better person. And I went to Africa right after the end of apartheid, so I got to talk to people who had just been through that. And one story I have is of the woman who was taking care of all of our rooms in this hotel. And so we'd always leave extra money because we got this wonderful per diem that was just too much. I mean, it was just obscene. So when we would leave a country, the money would change in Africa. So in South Africa, you had the rand, but then by the time you leave Africa, you either need to spend it all or just give it away because you can't use it, say, in Mozambique or, you know, someplace else. So I would like leave her money, I mean, just because, and just knowing what they've been through and knowing that, you know, she was probably making the equivalent of maybe $1,500 a year. And so what I was giving her, I don't even know what I gave. I probably gave her about $1,500, I don't know. And so I remember she came into my room. I was leaving out, she was about to come in. And she says, why are you so kind to me? And this was a Black African woman. And it was one of those weird moments where I didn't even know what to say. Why wouldn't I be? But that conditioning from apartheid still was being undone. So that even me as a Black African American woman just just leaving some money for her. Yeah, I appreciate that my bed's made up because I wasn't gonna make it. I appreciate all that. I do. And but she was just so she almost started crying, and it was obscene to me because I said, this is silly. This is, of course you deserve that. You deserve much more than that. But because of the mindset that she had been living under. And I remember I was talking to a professor, and he said, we are so fatigued that even the fact that apartheid is over, we are still mentally and spiritually fatigued. That was a time when they were burying kids like every day, because they just wanted to be free on their own land. So to step into Africa, I was there in 1995. It was like going back in time in terms of the mentality. I would say it was probably like the 40s and 50s might have been for African Americans here. And it was like they wanted to know all about America and what black people did and all the freedom stuff we got over here. And I'm like, well, now we still dealing with some stuff, so don't get too excited. Yeah, we got McDonald's, but that's about it. But it was an amazing time for me because that issue of getting out and getting a whole new perspective on life, I got to really live that. And I have to tell you the story later about the women in Swaziland. I love Swaziland; it's wonderful. But we're gonna do part 2, right? But we're gonna do some more music now.
Part 5.
Part 5. All right. So Dominique, I'm feeling. What am I feeling like? I'm feeling like Duke Ellington. Mood Indigo.
Okay, yeah.
B flat. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. You gonna put me on your next album?
Yeah.
He's such a liar. Dominique does a lot of hip hop production. So I'll be around these hip hop cats. I'm like, yeah, see, I made a rhyme. I can flow. You gonna have me on your next thing? He's like, yeah, Lisa. We're gonna talk about that. You're good. You are very good, sir.
B flat.
B flat.
Okay.
You ain't been blue. No, no, no. You ain't been blue till you've had that mood indigo. That feeling goes stealing down to my shoes while I sit and sigh. Go long blues. Always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. In the evenings when lights are low, I'm so lonesome I could die. 'Cause there's nobody who cares about me. I'm just a soul who's bluer than blue can be. Always get that mood indigo. I could lay me down and die. feeling goes, stealing down to my shoes, while I sit and sigh, go along blues. Always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. In the evening when lights are low, I'm so lonesome I could cry, 'cause there's nobody who cares about me. I'm just a soul who's bluer than blue can be. Always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. Since my baby said goodbye. Since you left and said goodbye, I could lay me down. I could lay me down and die. It's time to get funky. It's time to get funky. Before I get on with this second part, and I do want to once again to thank Natasha and also Warren for this beautiful space. I love the concept. It's just so amazing, and every time I talk to people about the gallery, I'm just all giddy. They look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, you don't understand. When you walk in, it just feels like you're being hugged, and you just don't want to leave because there's something to look at on every single nook and cranny. You just don't want to leave it, and it's so nice to see. I was here last month was LGBTQ. Amazing. I got a chance to meet some of the artists and hear them talk about their work. Phenomenal, just phenomenal. And you know, it's those artists that you don't often get to hear, and you often don't get to see their art displayed. It was just great. I think it's extremely ambitious. I don't even know when they sleep because she's gonna be changing this out in a couple weeks. In a couple weeks, yeah. So they are doing a great thing. So I've been trying to be like the Pied Piper and spread the word, support the gallery. I mean, even if it's just coming in and saying, look, here, Natasha, I figure you might need a coupon to go get some copies made. Here, take it. You know, something, anything. We have to support galleries like this because I think in times like this, art matters the most. This is a crazy time we live in, and art matters the most. So anytime you can support endeavors like this, please do it. I cannot say that enough. So I can't go on just yet because my 8th grade music teacher said that he wanted to say something. I don't know what he's gonna say. I'm gonna give him the microphone. You want the microphone, Mr. Miller?
Good.
You're good.
You know, I got a voice, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. You were my teacher. Yeah, okay.
Well, let me go back the way Lisa and I got started. She was in our music class only 1 year, only the 8th grade. That's all she's talked about because that's all she was there for. Fort Riley folks would move in and then they would move out.
Move out, yep.
Yeah, it was
Military
a
family,
common
yep.
military. Yeah, we were at Fort Riley, Kansas, and a junior high situation.
Yeah.
And Lisa came that 1 year and heard the beautiful voice right away. And I said, Lisa, what do you listen to? Oh, Billie Holiday, Miles Davis. Oh, really? You're in the 8th grade. And you're listening to Billie Holiday.
I've been weird, see?
There aren't too many kids that I know listen to Billie Holiday.
Yeah,
But she was one of them. So we got to practicing a little bit before, rehearsing a little bit before school.
Yeah.
Mrs. Miller and I would pick her up at her house and bring her to the school, and we would practice. And I've heard several of you say about how humble she is, and you know, middle school kids, junior high kids are not too kind sometimes. But every time Lisa would sing, they would say to me, and I think maybe to you, I don't know, that that girl's going to go somewhere. She's going to be famous. And she's humble. They said, you know, and middle school kids don't usually say that about their peers. But that's what they said about you. I don't know if you ever heard that, but they said it to me. They knew that you would be famous, you would go far, and even the staff would say something similar. So, and I know you've got a birthday coming up. So we brought you the traditional card, which is attached to the bag, which you can keep this in. But we've talked a lot about 8th grade.
Oh, God.
So we want you to open that up.
Oh, my God.
And talk a little bit about what's in there, Lisa.
I'm so scared. I love you, Mr. Miller. Oh my God. Okay. I giggle when I'm nervous.
You must be extremely nervous.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You have to tell them what that is.
Oh my God. This was the Christmas song.
It's the solo that one of the solos she sang was the Christmas song.
Oh
We had two
God.
concerts, one in Christmas and one in spring. And she did the Christmas song, "The Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire."
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Share it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry. He just took me right back. This is not fair, Mr. Miller. Oh my God. Oh my God. I remember that. Okay, so Christmas time, it's like my favorite time of year, and I'm sorry. Please edit all that "oh my God" out, please. They're gonna think Lisa's crazy. So, the Christmas song has always been even to this day. And whenever I sing it, I think about 8th grade.
Really?
And I remember the blue dress with the, God.
The girls there was a girls group, and they all wore the same blue dresses.
It was so beautiful. Oh, God.
So that's a picture of the
I had a waistline then. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. Oh my gosh.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Thank you. Oh
Here's your
my God.
card.
Thank you.
Dominique, while I'm up here, you are amazing.
I
yeah.
am going to pass this around to all of you. This is amazing.
Pass it around.
Yes, you please pass it around. Wow. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you a story about Mr. Miller. And this is why. And Mr. Miller, you don't know this. And or maybe I have told you, maybe I haven't told you, but you are one of the reasons why. When I'm not touring or singing, I'm a substitute teacher. That's what I do, yes. And I remember how wonderful and inviting his classroom was. Now, it wasn't really a stretch, because if you love music and you're in the music room, I mean, you know, it's just, it always feels like home. But there was something very different. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there was one particular Billie Holiday song that he accompanied me on. I don't know if it was a talent competition or what, but it was "I Cover the Waterfront" by Billie Holiday. And I remember I had the devil of a time trying to find the sheet music, and found the sheet music, and Mr. Miller had agreed to accompany me. We didn't know anybody, we didn't know how the business worked, we didn't know piano players or whatnot, but Mr. Miller was always there. And so I just want to say, if you see a teacher, give him a hug. Yeah. I mean, give him a big hug, because this man still, to this day, I'll go into a classroom and, you know, I'll see a kid who's maybe not engaged or whatnot, and I turn on the Mr. Miller, you know, how can I make you feel at home here? And that's what he did. I will never forget that. And yeah, it only takes 8th grade. It only takes 1 grade. It only does. So thank you. Oh my gosh, this man's wonderful. He's just wonderful. He is just wonderful. I love Mr. Miller. Yes. And now you're totally retired now, right?
I am totally retired.
Totally retired.
In 2009.
2009 took you long enough.
Yeah, 39 years.
39 years. Wow. That's a real teacher, y'all. That's a real teacher. So I thank you. Oh my, I see, I can't even sing now. You took the wind out of my sails here. Oh my gosh. So we were back there talking, and so many stories. I was telling someone, I was pointing to the picture of myself and the students from Africa, and I was telling, was it you? I was telling you. I got malaria over in Benin in 2008, 2009. So theoretically, I'm not even supposed to be sitting here talking to y'all. I'm just really not. I came back and I got flu-like symptoms in June, which was weird. And I said, okay, maybe I just ate something, whatever. So it went on, and then I had to go to the doctor, and they wouldn't let me leave. And I'm like, well, why can't I go? He said, you can't go anywhere, you've got malaria. So I was in the hospital for about a week and a half, and yeah, I lost like 17 pounds in a week and a half. It never happens now, but you know, you don't want that diet. But yeah, malaria is no joke though, and yeah, I'm not even supposed to be here. So as I was looking at that picture, I was reminded just of how amazing life is and how things happen, and I'm here. That's just amazing in and of itself. We were talking about. I have a big passion, and anyone who knows me, especially on Facebook, knows that I'm a very staunch advocate for the rights of black men in America. And I say it openly because this is part of our population that is ignored, has always been ignored, has always been feared, has always been mistreated. I can go on and on. I don't have to tell you, you already know. So I have a little organization. It hasn't grown up to where I would like it to be yet, but it's called Black Men Matter, and some of the pictures that are over on that table are from my project called The Ancestors' Flowers. And so to give you a little background, all of the flower photography, when I'm on the road, I'm a photographer, you know, because we have downtime, and so I take my camera along with me. So I've been doing it for 10 years. Somehow I've always gravitated towards nature, flowers, etc. And so I put the flowers with the photos of men that I know and some that I don't know. There are some men that I only know, it's just so funny, I only know them through Facebook. And I saw their picture, I'm like, can I use your picture for that? They're like, yeah, sure. So my work, that's only a part of it. But I've got like a whole bunch of men and flowers and everything, and it's to remind people of the beauty of black men. I want to live in a world where you wake up and you hear something beautiful about a black man. And so I said, well, I'm just gonna create my own little world. Y'all can think I'm crazy if you want to, but I don't care. You know, I was listening to Billie Holiday in the 8th grade, so I'm already I'm nuts anyway, so there you go. So yeah, so please keep an eye out for that. I've got big plans and visions for it. And I think having a son of my own now who's 17, it's hitting me very hard, the life and the world that he is now in. And so I feel personally responsible to at least try to make it a little better for him. And Jill back there, Jill Mesmer, stand up, Jill. Yay, yeah. Give her a hand, because let me tell you the craziness we're about to get into, and then we're gonna sing. So the craziness we're about to get into, oh gosh, it's gonna be so crazy. So we're going to be starting a support group for black women and white women regarding racism. Oh yeah, I love it. Everyone's like, yeah. And so we're going to talk openly and honestly about these things. And we're going to have a track where it's just sisters, because we need to unwind and unload. And then we're going to be talking to white women about some of the preconceived notions they have, some of the miseducation they have. And then at some point we're going to come together and we're going to exchange and we're going to get real honest and all of that. And I'll be in trouble again, so I'm just letting y'all know. But I'm really excited about it. Jill and I have had some great conversations. And yeah, so yeah, just be looking out for me on the news. You know, there's a crazy Lisa again. She's doing something. There she goes again.
Lisa, before you sing the next one, if you don't mind, would you talk a little bit about what you do with kids?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Miller. Yeah, for those who don't know, I do programming with not only the little kids, but also with kids throughout the country with the Monk Institute. So when I'm on the road, I will typically be at some. Case in point, we were just in South Dakota, which has a great jazz program, by the way. Yeah, right? That's exactly what I'm like, South Dakota? South Dakota is so cool and so hip. Let me tell you how hip South Dakota is. They've got music programs starting in elementary. So the feeder programs are like a non-issue. It's so amazing. And I asked the head of the fine arts department, I said, how'd you all do that? He said, we just got together and said, this is what we want for our kids. The end. We went to the legislature, we just kept pounding on them, they gave us the money, that's it. I'm like, I like this, okay. And so I said, I'm gonna take this back to Kansas City and let's see if we can replicate this. But yeah, amazing music programs throughout the nation. So I get to go into these school systems and do workshops with young vocalists. And it's like one of my favorite things to do. One of the, I'll share a quick story with you. I was in South Dakota, and there was this young lady, and she was a chubby girl, and she had a beautiful voice, but it's that high school thing, doesn't fit in. I've been there, so I can see it right away. And so she had just seen our concert. So what we do, we first do a concert to introduce all of the kids to jazz and some of the basic jazz concepts like improvisation, call and response, all those things. So, but they get to see us live, like doing it just like we're doing it now. And so turned out she was one of the choir participants. And so I came into the choir room and she said, oh my God. So she came and she gave me a big hug. And she said, you're just so wonderful. You're like everything I want to be. I said, but you can be whatever you want to be, sweetheart. And she started crying. Now, I've learned because, in a school situation, you got to be like, okay, did I make her cry? Is this a liability issue? What have I done? Oh my God. So I said, baby, why are you crying? She says, it's just. And so I looked at her, I said, sweetheart, look at me. There's nothing you can't do. There's just simply nothing you can't do, okay? I'm a little black girl from Oakland, California, okay? I'm a chubby little black girl, still chubby. Guess what? Been all around the world. Nothing you can't do. And she started smiling and she gave me a hug. It's those sorts of exchanges that I live for because there are kids out there who just need to hear, yes, of course you can do it. And they need to hear it matter-of-factly. You don't need to qualify. Just, of course, you want to go and climb that mountain, go climb that mountain. Send me a postcard. That's what they need to hear. And so getting to do that, going back to my days and being in Mr. Miller's class, that's what I'm put on this earth to do. And so I think the music has been a vehicle in some weird way to get into the classroom. I don't know how that happened, but I like that it happened. I also work with the itty bitty kids, so we're introducing 4- and 5-year-olds to jazz. I am part of the Jazz Academy now at the American Jazz Museum every Saturday, so I get to work with the little bitties from like 4 to 6, and then from 7 to like 11. So I'm with the kids and I'm introducing them to jazz concepts and just, basic music concepts like, following directions and, clap after me, make sure that you can hear rhythms and all of those things. So I'm excited. So I get to be a music teacher in a different sort of way. And I'm very excited about that. So that's what I do with the kids. That's what I do with the kids. So yeah, so I figure y'all want to hear a little bit of music now. Since you were talking about Billie Holiday, I think we have a couple of Billie Holiday tunes. Start with In Their Eyes.
Okay.
Remember G? I think it's G.
Yeah.
You sure?
I think so, yeah.
You think so? I always give him a hard time. You're supposed to know.
Yeah, it was.
I like messing with Dominique.
Right.
That right here.
All right.
2, 3, 4. I fell in love with you the first time I looked into them their eyes. You got a cute little certain way of flirting with them their eyes. They make me feel so happy, they make me feel so blue. I'm falling, no stalling, falling in a great big way for you. My heart is jumping. You started something with those eyes. You better look out, little brown eyes, if your eyes, they sparkle and they bubble. They're gonna get you in a mess load of trouble. You're overworking them, there's trouble lurking in them, their eyes. I fell in love with you when I looked into your eyes. You got a cute little certain way of flirting with them, their eyes. Darling, they make me feel so happy and they make me blue. I'm falling, there's no stalling, falling in a great big way. For you started something, you got my poor heart jumping. You'd better look out, little brown eyes, if you're wide. They sparkle and they bubble. They're gonna get you in a whole heap of trouble. You're overworking them, there's trouble lurking in them, their eyes, yeah. Into them, their eyes. You got a cute little way of flirting with them, their eyes. Darling, they make me feel so happy and they make me feel so blue. I'm falling, no stalling, falling in a great big way for you. Started something, you got my heart kind of jumping. You better look out, little brown eyes, if you're wide. They sparkle and they bubble. They're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking them, there's trouble lurking in them, their eyes. I said, you're overworking them, there's trouble lurking in them, their eyes. You're overworking them, there's trouble lurking in them, their. Boy, you better watch it with those gorgeous eyes, yeah. In their eyes, Mr. Dominique Sanders.
Yeah.
And so we go on to one of my other favorite Billie Holiday songs. As Natasha said earlier, I'm a social justice person. Always in trouble, just always in trouble. It's a good kind of trouble to be in. But this is a song I remember that just encapsulated everything that I felt on any given day. Living in America with brown skin. And I had, before coming to 8th grade, I had read the autobiography of Billie Holiday. And I read that book. I remember I was in 4th grade and I got it. I understood. And probably right at that moment, I said, okay, I'm just not going to be normal for the rest of my life. I just need to kind of accept that. But this was one of the tunes that I remember hearing. And I got it. I understood. See?
Oh, God bless it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. shall the Bible say, and it still is news. Mama may have, and your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Has got his own. Rich relations will give a crust of bread and such. They want you to help yourself, but just don't take too much. Your mama may have, and your papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. When you've got money, you got lots of friends, and they crowd around your door. But when it's gone, and all of that spending ends, you don't see those really good friends no more. No, 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 no. Rich relations will give you a crust of bread and such. They want you to help yourself, but just don't take too much. Mama may have, and your papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Will give you a crust of bread and such. They say help yourself, oh, but don't you dare take too much. Your mama may have, and your papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own. Got his own. God bless the child, the one that's got his own. Thank you so much. So we've come to the part in the program. Where is Mr. Harvey? Mr. Harvey? Oh, have you all ever seen the videos of him doing the two-step? Who's seen that? He brings me such joy, and I cannot two-step, but I try to do whatever he's doing, and I thank you for the two-step videos. Oh gosh, they're just beautiful. And there's his mama right there. That's his mama. That's mama. And this is his beautiful work. It just makes me so very happy. What we're going to do, and Mr. Harvey is going to oblige us. So while he's gone, I'll tell you a little bit about this. We came up with this. While I'm singing this next tune, he's going to paint a piece while I'm singing. We don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. He just gets to let the spirit just use him. So while he's getting ready and getting set up, you can go live whenever you want. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So this is a real treat for me. His work has touched a nerve with me, and I'm sure with the whole community. He is the consummate artist, and so you let me know when I can. When you're ready.
I'm ready.
Let me go live.
Okay, all right, go ahead. He's just going live.
Got 4 minutes. So.
Oh, well, no. We're actually going to maybe stretch it out a little bit. Okay. We like to oblige.
Thank you.
This is the last one I do gotta play it. And like,
So you get a whole 5
what-
minutes instead of 4.
Right. That's what I was
Why didn't you
thinking.
tell me that?
I was already we done that. So we can do this. So yeah, just like
Serious?
yeah.
I'll throw my lemonade on you. I'm going to get you for that. All right. You just let us know, Mr. Harvey. So as he's getting ready, and Mr. Dominique has just informed me that, see, this is how these young folks make all the money. So I'm thinking that we're just gonna have a leisurely night with Mr. Dominique, and I'll get to hang afterwards and everything. Mr. Dominique just told me, I just want you to know I got another gig, just want you to know that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
He didn't tell me this yesterday. He's telling me this now. So, ain't that nothing? I tell you, these young people. Where's your gig?
The record board.
Okay, so you're pretty close. All
Yeah,
right.
it's not that board.
Do you need to call him and let him know that,
It's like it.
Lisa Henry's holding you up?
Nah, it's like
Blame it on me, it's okay. So, Nina Simone has been one of my idols. And I think probably in the last 10 years, I've really started to hear Nina and hear what she's saying and was saying. And I just dig her so much. The fact that she was trying to make a difference in a world that was even crueler than it is now is something that I just am in awe of. So the name of this tune is called I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free. And it's just as meaningful now as it was when she sang it many, many years ago. So this is the song to which Mr. Harvey is going to work his magic. It would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I should say. Say them loud, say them clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know just what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that every man should be free. I wish I could give all that I'm longing to give. I wish I could live just like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things that I can do. And though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. I wish I could fly like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea, and I'd sing, 'cause I know, oh, I would sing, 'cause I know, yes, I'd sing, 'cause I know how it would feel to be free. I wish I could give all that I'm longing to give. I wish I could live just like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things that I can do. And though I'm way overdue, I would be starting anew. I wish I could fly like a little birdie in the sky, yeah, yeah, yeah. How sweet it would be if I found that I could fly. I'd look down from the sky and look right into the sea, and I'd sing, 'cause I know I would sing, because I would know, yes, I would sing, 'cause I know, yes, I would sing, 'cause I know, yes, I would know what it means to be free. I would know what it means to be free. I would know, yes, I know. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I would know. I wanna know. I wanna know what it feels like to be free, yeah. I wanna know what it feels like to be free. Somebody yeah. I wanna know what it feels like to be free, yeah. I wanna know what it feels like. 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 Oh, I wanna know what it feels like. I wanna know what it feels like. I want to know, I want to know. Ooh, I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. Somebody tell me what it feels like to be free. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know what it feels like to be free. Like a bird in the sky. Please tell me what it feels like to be free, yeah. I wanna know what it feels like to be free. To be free.
I'm just gonna sing your finishes. That's better than any painting I've ever done. Pause and just still like let everybody take a look at just in 4 minutes. Any painting. 1 second. Are you kidding me? Yes. Wow. That is genius right there, yo.
I just love him.
I love you too.
I love you back.
I love you more.
I love you more. Okay, so we have to let the youngster go to his gig that he didn't tell me about. Mr. Dominique Sanders, everybody.
Lisa Henry. Lisa Henry.
I don't have a gig, so I can just kind of lollygag around for a minute. And please give another round of applause to Miss Natasha Ria El-Scari for opening up this space for us. This has been an amazing night, and like I said, I'll be packing up and stuff so we can do stories and y'all can take some food home and all of that. Gosh, he's amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
And this piece will be for sale.
Of course it will. Natasha, the consummate marketing woman.
Well, let me know.
I will.
I got first choice.
All right.
Look at that. See, that's what this is about. The world needs more art. So yes, art matters even more now. It matters even more now. So thank you so much. I will turn it now over to Lady Natasha.
That was very good. Let's give it up one more time for Lisa Henry. Thank you. I know that all of you, even though this is a small crowd, it doesn't matter. You gave a stellar performance, and so thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Warren, and thank you all for being here. Lisa loves to tell stories, and she's great at it, so I think she's going to hang around. And we are going to hang around as well. And so I just want everyone to know that Warren and I are super dedicated to making sure that somebody can walk out of here with something, whether they have $4, $5, whatever we want to have. So we have something priced at from $4 on all the way up to $10,000 in our gallery right now. So you're not required to purchase, but please feel free to take pictures. Please feel free to shout us out on Facebook, Instagram. Please feel free to give us a recommendation or a review. If you can't give us a 5, let us know why. Please don't post it. Just let us know what we can do to improve it. And I know Lisa does not want to take this food home, so if you are still hungry, please make sure that you get some more food. And I just want to say again, Lisa, you are amazing. and completely beautiful inside and out. Your activism, your artistry, your incredibly large and giving heart. And so, absolutely not.
Checks in the mail.
Absolutely not. And in fact, Jessica and I were sitting here earlier, or standing rather, and we were talking about Lisa, how she will come into a party or something bearing gifts. And they're literally like, you're not expecting them. And so one of my favorite Lisa Henry stories is that she came to a party, and I usually throw these very fabulous parties. I won't tell that story. Some stories I won't tell.
Well, it's stories and songs.
Right, but I was really sick and still throwing this party, and I was not feeling well. I had been sick for several days, and the next day, early in the morning, after I was not awake, I don't know how she was awake. The last person left at 6 a.m., but Lisa came right behind them with homemade applesauce. And it was the only thing I could get down. So it was the only thing. And so she bought me 2, and she said, this should last you until you get better. My kids tasted the applesauce, so one was theirs and one was mine, but I'll never forget that. And so one day I called her up and I was like, Lisa, I'm not sick, but I would really love some applesauce. I don't even eat applesauce, but it was so damn good. So she made it from scratch, and that's the kind of thing that she does. Like she's just amazing. And Warren and I were here one day working and just being in the gallery, and then she walks in, bearing all these gifts, and she's the one responsible for all the prints, because she said, you know what, I just don't want people to walk out of here, and I want them to have just a piece of that. And she gifted that to the gallery. And so, again, she didn't have to do that, but she did. So thank you, Lisa. You've been awesome. Warren, you all, I tell him this all the time. Genius.
Yes.
He really is. Like when we talk about, and all that it means to be a genius, all the complications, the beauty, the unfolding, right? We do it. Come on, Warren. But it is. It's like in to be in his presence when we get to be together 4 days a week. Here at the gallery, and sometimes he just has to go away and create. And I'm not like that, because I've always created with children, so I'm always used to creating with people and noise and things like that. But he will go away and create and pop back in, but I think it's amazing. I'm learning so much about a different kind of artist spirit. No, it's fun. It is. It's fine, because Warren is amazing. He is great to work with. I think we've only known each other for 4 months? Yeah. But it feels like 40 years. We were talking about that. What happened? I think we got some past life stuff working. But I love to watch him work. And we had a very precocious 6-year-old come in here. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she would not stop talking to Warren. And this was a day he was hunkered down. And so he gave her a paintbrush. And he let her, do a little bit on the canvas. And I was like, Warren, you are the best. So he had a moment where he could have been all about his art, but he always pauses for the babies, y'all. Always. And he let her.
Love the kids.
Warren loves the kids, and they love him. But when you talked earlier about that, you only need 1 year, right? You only need 8th grade. So we don't know what he poured into that little girl the moment that, he gave her that brush and let her, touch his canvas like that, or if she had even ever painted before, but she was really drawn to it. So you all enjoy the gallery. We're going to move around, and, we're going to keep the chairs here because we have an event tomorrow, which I should invite you to. It is free of charge because we're not as famous as Lisa yet, but we, each month, every 3rd Friday, we have the artist talk, and where the artists whose work is here, they will get up and say a few words about their pieces, what inspired them, what they're going through. They get raw, they get beautiful. Some people cry, and you all get to ask questions, and whatever food you don't take home, we're gonna reserve it tomorrow. So make sure you don't put your hands in it directly. Use those tongues.
We're repurposing around here. And want not, waste not. So we'll be here tomorrow. It'll be 6 of the Black Space Black artists. Warren is one of them. And he always says that he doesn't like to talk publicly, but every time he does, he touches somebody. So, and our artists are amazing. We have had a good time as a collective. And so, come back if you don't have anything to do or tell someone else about it. So, Warren, look at this piece. To see it in action. Warren, do you want to say anything about creating that fast?
Do I want to say something about creating that fast?
What was that like?
I gave you some extra minutes too.
And I appreciate that, and I felt that.
She was like,
now the extra time, and I'm still behind, but I think, I enjoyed it. It can be a little nerve-wracking. Just can be, especially with people staring at you and then knowing that you don't have all the time in the world to create. But it also challenges me, and helps me not get so stuck in my head. Just kind of let it out. Regardless of where it goes, just let it out and let the paint kind of lead me. And really, this is just a woman. And in the song is talking about birds flying and being free, and just this is her thinking about that freedom, what it feels like to be free, and the bird represents the freedom. So I enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Wow. Right here at the El-Scari Harvey Art Gallery, y'all. So thank you again. David, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. David captured this. If you don't, event tech, he does everything, right? You do weddings, baby showers, but music is kind of your focus. I absolutely love working with David. He's great. He's going to do a great promo for us here at the gallery. Yeah, one of the 500 projects that we have. So if you also, if you want to give to the gallery, there's a little donation. If you haven't, you can give if you like. If you haven't signed the book, you can please sign the book. We're not going to load you. We're not going to sell your information. We're not going to do any of that. But eventually we will, send out an email just to hey, this is what we're doing for the month or 3 months, things like that. So any questions for Warren, myself, for Lisa, anybody? Great. Well, thank you. I'm going to turn on the music. You all continue to mingle and have a good night. Thank you for coming.